Support for the show, FYF Sports, is brought to you by Manscaped, who's the best in men's below-the-waist grooming. Manscaped offers precision engineered tools for your family jewels. Visit manscaped.com. Your balls will appreciate it. It's FYF Sports, man. It's Lamont. We back with another podcast video, man. And today is a very special episode, man. Today is a very special episode. It's a Thursday. You know, it's Christmas Eve. I mean, there's a lot going on for the channel. But, you know, before we get started, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell to the channel. Especially if you haven't done so already. We got so many new things planned for the channel. It's absolutely crazy. But not just with the live streams, more podcast videos to come, NBA highlights. I mean, everything that you can imagine. We're going to get more into the football talk as the playoff races and battles start to round out. And when we get to those NFL playoffs, we got college basketball coming as well. We got some NBA special guests coming soon. And you know, so we got a lot of things coming for FYF Sports going into 2021. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date with everything that we have going on for the channel. But I say today is a special day because, you know, after thinking about this long and hard, I mean, you guys know the troubles that we've had here at FYF Sports and trying to find a second co-host. I mean, the first two co-hosts that we had kind of parted ways with the channel. Just, you know, things either it didn't work out or it was just too much work involved. So, you know, I said, I think it's time that we give FYF Fred. I think it's time that we give FYF Fred his own segment because he's deserved it. He's been here at every episode. Sometimes you don't see him in the episodes. You know, for a couple weeks we had to put him on probation for what he did. Some of the, you know, sneaking and dropping videos or editing videos when he's not supposed to. But for the most part, FYF Fred has been putting in a lot of work. And we decided to give him his segment, his own segment every Thursday called FYF Fred Conversations, man. So, you know what? I'm not even going to do too much talking. We're going to allow Fred to take over this segment. Now, what Fred does is, you know, whether it's sports related, whether he has questions for you guys in the live streams, whether he has questions for me, or whether he just wants to rant and rave about whatever's going on in the week, we give Fred this whole show on every Thursday so he can go ahead and do his thing. And then again, this is just a trial run. We're going to give Fred this Thursday. And, you know, hopefully this is something that we can keep going into 2021. So for the rest of 2020, we're going to allow Fred to take over the next few Thursdays, however many are left. And we're going to see what he can bring to the show. Because, again, we got a lot of things coming for the show going forward in the future. And I think FYF Fred, not just behind the scenes, I think we can give him a role more so in front of the cameras, man. Because a lot of times you guys don't hear what Fred has to say, man. A lot of times, you know, I sit back and I chop it up with Fred, man. He has a lot of knowledge about the game of basketball, sports in general. He just don't, for whatever reason, when he gets in front of the cameras, he generally shies up. But I've talked to him about it. And so he said today's the day where he's going to come out of his shell and he's going to start sharing more information, interacting with the fans of FYF Sports. So, Fred, I'm going to give it to you right now. Go ahead and take it over. What do you got? What has been on your mind with regards to, you know, just sports in general? Anything you got going on? What do you want to speak about? Come on, Fred. I don't have you on the floor that much, Fred. And I definitely don't have you right down there by my balls. Now, yesterday was a different story. I was getting back from the gym. I didn't have time to move you around like that. Sometimes you got to find a way to move on your own. Come on, Fred. Come on, Fred. This is not the conversation I was hoping to have with them. Okay. All right. We talk about that off camera. What do you have related to sports or whatever going on with the podcast? All right. All right. If you say my balls stink, my balls stink. Okay. Christmas. You talking about this box right here? That's for me. Okay. I mean, it's Christmas Eve. There ain't nothing wrong with opening up a gift early. I appreciate Fred, man. Hey, salute to Fred. Salute to Fred, man. Fred just blessed me with this box. Let me see. Let me bust this box open right here. All right, Fred. All right, so Fred got me a gift here. Looks like it came with a note. Okay. Oh, Fred got jokes. Okay, Fred, you got jokes. I see, Fred. I'm gonna let you slide with this because it's actually pretty smooth, man. If y'all don't see it right here, he got me a box, a gift box. He got me a gift box from Manscaped. Wow. Wow. Okay, Fred. So it says, your balls will thank you. See, Fred's trying to be funny. See, Fred's trying to be funny. Right? Fred knows that I shower daily, and my balls at no point in time have ever been sweaty or stinking. So I think he's trolling right now getting me this gift. I do appreciate it though, Fred, because this is a nice new product. I've never seen this before. Okay, so in this box it says I got the crop mop. So he got me some ball wipes. Okay, I might have to test that out. Hair and body wash. Okay. You got me all types of stuff here, Fred. Fred got me some. I got some ball toner. So you just basically, anytime it's just a pick me up. It says you spritz it on your goods once or twice a day. It stay fresh down there. Let it air dry. Okay. I like this, Fred. He got me some ball deodorant. So by Manscaped, ball deodorant by Manscaped, and my favorite thing is the clippers. Fred, where did you find this from? Here, pull that up on the computer, Fred. Pull that up on the computer where you got that from, because I need some more information on this. This is pretty smooth, but I need to know how to use this. I need some information because again, you got this for me. It's probably some people out there that might wanna cop them some of this right here, because this look like a smooth little setup right here, Fred. Okay, I got it right here, Fred. All right, Manscaped. Okay, company just launched out of the UK. Okay, so we got the Manscaped. The redesigned electric trimmer. The Manscaped engineering team has perfected the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. So this is the greatest ball hair trimmer ever created. I'm going to be trying this later. I'm assuming Fred's probably already tried it. And if Fred's giving it to me, that means his balls is nice and smooth. He's probably used these, not this exact pair, but he's probably used this brand before. Fred, please tell me you haven't used these before, because I can't be using the same electric trimmers that you have. So I appreciate this right here. This is something I could probably use right here. It's getting a little bushy down there. It's due for a touch-up. So men can get touch-ups down there too. The greatest ball trimmer ever created right here. It's called the Lawnmower 3.0. I like that, Fred. It's a third generation trimmer featuring cutting edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. So yeah, hey you guys, I remember one time I tried to trim down there with some Andes T-liners, and man, I'm just telling you right now, I had a couple nicks and cuts in some places that I didn't want some nicks and cuts. So make sure you guys check this out, man. The Lawnmower 3.0 by Manscaped. All right, the Lawnmower 3.0 by Manscaped. Don't take no Andy's T-liners to your balls like I did. Grab some of these, cop some of these. I like this. Waterproof technology. That's smart too. So I can knock it out in the shower. Just let it wash down the drain. I ain't got to stand over the toilet. Oh, and it says one of the best features is it has an LED light on it. Oh, that's smooth right there. Y'all see that? A smooth LED trimmer, so I can see exactly what I'm doing. Illuminates grooming areas for closer and more precise trimming. That's smooth right there. Upgraded motor, 7,000 RPM, quiet stroke technology. Quiet stroke technology. What you know about that quiet stroke, Fred? Okay. Oh, man. Wow. Okay. Hey, and Fred got a gift for you guys too, man. Going into the holidays, man. Going into the holidays, Fred just blessed you guys with a gift from Manscaped. All right, he has a coupon code for you guys, man. You guys can get 20% off with free shipping when you use the code FYF Crew at manscaped.com. All right, get 20% off plus free shipping when you use the code FYF Crew. It's going to be right there on the screen. No excuse not to miss out on this code. Go to manscaped.com. Go grab your Lawnmower 3.0. Grab all of your other accessories right here. Your ball reviver, your ball toner. Make sure you guys also grab your ball deodorant. All right, and they got a number of other products out there, man. They got some redefined cologne, right? They got some ball wipes. So if you're on the go and you moving real fast, that's what you say. You might, guys like Antisocial. If you out creeping all night and you got to come back home to your girl, you might want to grab some of these ball wipes. Clean yourself up before you walk back in the house. All right. They got razors. They got everything you need to groom everything you need. So it's all below the waist grooming. We got to start taking care of everything below the waist. You can start by copping you some Manscaped. For FYF Fred, man, salute, man. Appreciate you, man. Like I said, this is the first gift I got, 2020. All right. And like I said, I know you've been a headache all year. But you know what, man? Salute to you for grabbing this for me. I'm definitely gonna be using all of this stuff. All right, and I'm gonna be giving you guys my own personalized review of everything that he's got me right here, so I can give you my own testimonial about how it works, man. They even sent me some underwear. I'm talking about, man, with the trimmers. They sent me guards and everything, so I can get everything I need the way I want it, man. So hey, make your testies your besties at manscaped.com. Remember, code FYF Crew at manscaped.com. 20% off plus free shipping. All right. Don't forget that, man. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code FYF Crew at manscaped.com. All right. Your balls will thank you, man. Appreciate you. And I thank you, FYF Fred, for copping this for me. Salute to everybody at manscaped.com. Man, I'm really going to use this. I look forward to cleaning up my balls, and hopefully when I put you down on the floor, Fred, you don't have so many complaints. All right, so can we finally get to basketball? I mean, I know Fred wanted to give me that gift. All right, from manscaped.com. Don't forget to copy your Manscaped with 20% off. But Fred, do you got anything that's sports or basketball related that you need to address, man? This segment, we cannot allow this segment to run on and on and on and on. We got other things to do. Fred. What's going on, Fred? Oh, see, Fred. See, the last time, Fred trying to get me right there. See, the last time I heard a crazy noise, this is what Fred do. He set up something. I hear a crazy noise. He get me to leave the room. Next thing I know, he get to editing and putting something out on YouTube that I don't need out there. Fred, I've already told you, part three to the epic series with CJ, Anna, tickettv, and all that. We not dropping it on this channel, y'all. I'm sorry, we cannot drop it on this channel. Come on, Fred, is that you or are you just playing? All right, come on, Fred. Fred, you going straight to the floor. If this is a joke, you're going straight to the floor. All right, y'all. Hold on 1 second. We're going to be right back.
It's FYF Sports, man. It's Lamont. We back. And you guys see the title of the video right there. Puppet Master TV. So you guys know, man, this has been an epic series so far. We've been able to uncover a lot of information. The facts, the digital footprints, everything has led us down one road. All right. And we've successfully convicted William Byrd. William Byrd gave up some information, and he's helped us find a new suspect, and we identified that suspect in part 2. All right. Now we identify Anna as the second suspect. So we identify Will as the first culprit and creator of one of the fake CJ accounts. All right. Things weren't adding up. Couldn't connect the dots on all of the accounts that I was seeing. We did a further investigation. We then found that Anna has 2 YouTube channels, one of which was created on the same date as that of the fake CJ. All right. That damning evidence right there can only lead one to believe that you are the culprit for creating one of the fake CJ accounts as well. All right. And you know what? Most people would have ended the investigation right then and there. Most people would have ended the investigation right then and there. But as you guys know, I left you guys hanging. And I let you guys know that there definitely would be a part 3. Because as we continue to do our investigation, we found that there's also a third suspect involved. All right. Now, what we're going to do is we got to weave this path, right? We got to weave this path directly to this person so I can show you exactly how we got there, because I can't take all the credit for it. I 100% cannot take all the credit for it. And it was actually by sheer accident. It was actually by sheer accident that I came across some additional evidence. So the first thing I got to do is we got to take you to the drawing board. So I'm going to take y'all over to the drawing board because I want to show y'all the exact date and time in which the third suspect was exposed. And this is when I knew for a fact that I had to continue the investigation. I had to dive deeper into this to figure out what's really going on and why is this happening. And I think that's the big question for everybody involved. I think CJ wants to know why. Elder wants to know why. True the King wants to know why. I want to know why. Everybody involved here. And I know you guys over the last couple of weeks, it's been a long time. When is part 3 coming? When is part 3 coming? All right. And I'm giving it to you right now. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you over to the drawing board right now. And I'm going to show you how all of this unfolded. And again, I can take credit for some great detective work, part 1 and part 2. I was really, to be honest, I was honestly stuck after part 2. I didn't know what direction to go. And so the funniest thing is when you sit back, when I dropped part 1 and part 2, the suspects started showing their hand. And I'm going to break down how the suspects exposed themselves and gave me more information than I even already had, because they were trying to be too smart, be too slick. And it's just so funny how all of this is spoken. Let's go ahead and go over to the drawing board and I'm going to break it down for you. All right, so here we are at the drawing board right here. And so the day after I dropped part 1, a lot of people were perturbed. A lot of people were frantic. A lot of people were upset. There was a lot of ranting. There was a lot of ranting and raving by Will and Anna, and obviously, and not necessarily Anna, but more so Will, because after part 1, Will was identified as one of the prime suspects and culprits for creating one of the fake CJ accounts. Rightfully so. The evidence, the digital footprint, led us straight to him. The digital footprint led us straight to Will. There's no getting around it. That's 100% factual. You can't really get around that. And again, it's not my fault. There's nothing that I could control. The evidence, the facts took us straight to Will. If it would have took us to someone else, then we wouldn't even be discussing them right now. But the facts remains that the digital footprint led us straight to William Byrd. That you cannot get around. So Will was so perturbed. Will was so distraught that he decided to make an appearance. He decided to make an appearance on our live stream. He made an appearance on our live stream right here. All right. He made an appearance on the live stream. He was in the chat. And as you guys always know how Will is, when he's upset, he was in the chat cussing and just trying to be a nuisance. And I'll scroll down to some of the chat. You'll see it right here. And actually hasn't loaded up yet, but you guys can go watch the video. All right, this was a live stream video that I did on October 27th. On October 27th, go check out the live stream. The title of the video is 20 Questions About NBA Trade Market. Will Bradley Beal, Chris Paul get dealt? Celtics upgrade. All right, so that was the title of the video. All right, and in this video, at about the 1 hour and 40-minute mark, Will was making so much of a fuss about me dropping part 1 of the Love Bat Lane Epic miniseries that he came into the chat. And so I wanted to stay on the topic of basketball. I wanted to stay on the topic of basketball so much so that I put a message on the screen. And if you guys can see it, and if you guys can't see it, what I'll do is I'll zoom in on it so you can see this clearly right here. But I've already put it up on the drawing board right here. And it says FYF Sports Debates. It says at William 84 Byrd. Hit my line after the chat, 480-401-5784. I already gave you my number. We can chop it up offline. So now the reason I gave Will this was because I was going to give him an opportunity behind the scenes to apologize to CJ, make amends for what he did wrong, and just take acceptance of the fact that he was caught. All right? As opposed to coming into my live chat, being a nuisance, cussing up a storm, trying to get my video demonetized. All right? So that's what I was going to give an opportunity to. Now, this number right here, this is not my real number. This number is a number that I use. It's associated with a VoIP. So a VoIP is just a second line that you can download using another app, so that you don't have to really give out your real phone number. So I have this phone number connected to my phone, and so every time somebody calls this number or every time somebody sends me a text message from this number, it's forwarded over to my real number. But this is just a number that I use for promotional purposes. For people that I don't want having my personal number, this is the number that I give out. So for Will, I gave him this number. It was basically my dummy number because obviously I wanted him to reach out to me, but I knew I was doing so on a public forum. So I knew that thousands of people would actually see this number, and I didn't want thousands of people to have my real number. But I knew that if Will actually decided to reach out to me, give me a call, and he wanted to speak like a man, and we can talk about it behind the scenes, I was going to give him every opportunity to do so by giving him that number right there. All right, so as you guys can see, it says at William 84 Byrd. Hit my line after the chat. I already gave you my number. We can chop it up offline. And I think on my part, I think that's very reasonable right there. I think that's very reasonable because Will is the type to say, if we meet in the streets, if you say it in my face, and I wasn't trying to have that conversation publicly because, again, at the end of the day, the goal of all of this is to get CJ a public apology. There are a lot of people lied on CJ. A lot of people disrespected CJ publicly. I was only asking that the people involved in this scheme publicly apologize for what they did. And again, that's all I've asked for from the start. Publicly apologize, get it over with. All right, and we can move on. All right, we can shake hands. We can still continue with the basketball sports talk, and we can just dead it right there. Again, my whole gripe in this whole situation is the fact that you try to tarnish somebody's name, and the links that you go to try to tarnish somebody's name. And the more and more I look into it, it's just sinister. That's really the only way you can describe it. And so I put my number out there. Now, when I put my number out there, I didn't know what was going to happen next. I didn't know if Will was actually going to reach out to me. I didn't know if I had trolls in the chat. I didn't know if I had trolls in the chat who would spam my number up. But what happened next? What happened next is what created part 3. And we're going to get to that right now because I was contacted. I was contacted by somebody. All right. And again, it was by sheer luck that all of this just fell into place. All right. So what we're going to do is I'm going to bring up the thread of text messages. I'm about to bring up the thread of text messages from the first person to contact me on this number. The first person to contact me on this number. And I'm going to bring that thread of text messages up to show you. Here it is right. As you guys can see from this text message right here, look at the name at the top of the screen. It says Anna. Now, what I want you guys to know and understand is this. As I've told you guys before in the live stream, or I may have told you in part 1 or part 2. When I first met Anna, we had conversations of her potentially being on FYF Sports. You know, not that she was a great basketball mind, but she was the opposite of what I thought. I have a very sound basketball mind, and I think very reasonable about players. She has a very unsound mind about basketball, and she's unreasonable about basketball players. All right, so I think that, you know, whenever you have a sports show, it's always great for opposites to attract. Opposites make for a better conversation. Again, I didn't want it to be toxic. I didn't want it to be a situation where people were cussing each other out about basketball. I just wanted opposite and opposing opinions on sports. That was my goal in reaching out to her. Nothing more, nothing less. And I know there's rumors out there of me maybe getting into her DMs, shooting my shot. That's all false. We never had a conversation of that nature. There were never any DMs. But as you can see here, I did have a conversation with her initially on September 23rd. Now, on September 23rd, I had reached out to her by email, and I gave her my phone number. I gave her my phone number in the email. All right. And I could put that email right here so you can see that email where we exchanged information. All right. We then continued our conversation by text, and you can see our conversation back from September 23rd. All right. And then the conversation was transferred from here, from standard text. We started talking in WhatsApp after this. So this is why it's only 2 messages here. But on September 23rd, she did text me from her actual number. Now, she had my real number. All right. But at the time, see, Anna didn't know that I also have a second line that also sends messages here. So whenever that second line or that application receives those messages, I receive a message or a notification on the top of my screen saying that I have forwarded messages from my second line. And on Wednesday, and as you guys can see here, on Wednesday, October 28th, one day after the live stream. So you guys saw my live stream was October 27th, 2020. All right, when I put my number on the screen, for William Byrd to reach out to me. All right, but on October 28th, 2020, I get a message. I get a thread of messages. We're going to read them together. It says, disgusting, LOL. Then it says, oops, sorry, I texted the wrong number. I thought you were somebody else. Okay, and I still didn't respond. It says, is this Will? Hey, Will, I got your number from Lamont's channel. This is Anna. Now, this was sent to me at between 12:47 and 12:52 a.m. on October 28th. So this was just a few hours, if that, after my live stream had ended. All right, because our live streams can go late sometimes. I don't remember the exact time that it started and ended, but this has had to be a few hours after my live stream ended. This was early. This was 12 midnight. This was right 12 midnight on October 28th. Okay. Now, one would, a lot of people would say, well, how do you know that's actually Anna texting you? See, the only reason I knew it was actually the real Anna texting me is because, as you guys can see from the email, she's the only one that had my real number. She texted me from her real number, which you can see at the top of the screen. All right. So I had that number saved in my phone already. So anytime that number either messages me through my second line or directly to my phone, it's going to register under the contact number that I already have saved in my phone. So right then and there, I said, this is actually the real Anna texting me. I gotta sip some tea off that. Man. Oh, that English black tea today. The dark tea, good for your cholesterol, black people. Yeah, the real Anna texted me, thinking that Will put his number on the screen for me. See, she misinterpreted my message. See, because I scroll messages up on the screen. It's rare that I ever put my own message that I put in the live chat on the big screen. All right, it's rare that I do that, but I did so that William Byrd could clearly see it and there would be no excuses. I put it up on the big screen. You guys saw that, and I said that was my second line number. All right, and you also know it's my number because, for one, you can call it right now and I'll answer, or two, you can see that it's an Arizona number. All right, only someone not from the U.S. would pick up on that, and she didn't pick up on it. So I said, you know what? So there were a number of things that I could have did with this thread of text messages. I could have just said, "This is me. Why are you playing around? You're an idiot." Or I could turn into Labatt Lane. And I can dig for more information. And that's exactly what I did in this situation. I turned into Labatt Lane. And you see my response. So my response was, I said, if you think I'm Will, then I'll be Will today. So my response was, yo, you see them Bamas on Lamont's live last night? They some bitch ass niggas. That's what I said, y'all. Hey, y'all let me know in the live chat, man. Let me know in the live chat. Did I do a good Will impression with that text message? Let me know if I did a good Will impression. Obviously, it worked to some degree. But let me know what y'all think about that Will impression. I'm going to read that again. My first response. And so what I did was I let it simmer a little bit. I didn't immediately respond, right? So that last message she sent was, "This is Anna." That was sent at 12:52 a.m. I didn't respond till 9:47 in the morning. I said, yo, you see them Bamas on Lamont's live last night? They some bitch ass niggas. As you guys can see. Anna quickly responded. At this point in time, she still hadn't caught on that it was really my number. She should have did her homework out. Remember what I say in my videos, for research purposes only. Anna, you need to go buy my merch for research purposes only. Because if you'd have bought that merch, you would have done your research and you would have doubled down and checked, and you would have easily caught that was my message to Will. That wasn't Will's message to me. All right. So she responds. She says, Lamont making videos trying to save CJ. Laughing emoji. Making videos trying to save CJ. No, CJ's the homie, right? He's the homie. He don't really have a platform to defend himself. So I just said, you know what? I'm going to take it upon myself to do it for him. All right. So again, still pretending to be Will. I carried on. This is Labatt Lane at Max Ether. This is Max Ether level 9. Labatt Lane is just on one right now. He says, CJ a bitch for speaking on my wife. I'll really kill that nigga if I see him in New Jersey. I got family in New Jersey. See, I'm trying my best to sound like Will. It's hard to sound that retarded. It's kind of hard to sound like that, you know. And I think I did a good Will impression there. And again, it's actually working, y'all. It's really working. All right, so that was my response, and I responded at 9:51 a.m. All right, she immediately responded at 9:56 a.m. She said, I pretended to be CJ with my other YT page, and I'm assuming YT means YouTube page, and got him blocked from the chat over at Tickets. But I think it's CJ with another fake page speaking on your wife in the private chat. That's not me. That's not okay at all. That's when I was like, that's what blew my mind. I'm like, wow. So I said, I'm thinking to myself, she could either be lying and she could be the one in the private chat saying that. But I also said, or there really could be a third person actually really going into the private chat, putting those messages, stirring up controversy, stirring up drama about, against Will. Because like I said in part 1, I don't think there's no way Will would actually say those types of things about his own wife. I don't think I know he's crazy. I don't think he's that crazy. All right. I thought Anna had the potential to do something that sinister, because we've seen some of the nasty and vile things that she's put in the chat over at Tickets. We've seen it. I mean, she's even went as far as saying something about shooting up a middle school, or saying something like that, some crazy stuff. So we know she has that vile nature in her, that evil nature. So I was thinking there's a potential for her to be the culprit as far as taking it to that level with Will, just to instigate more drama. But she says it. I'll read it again. She says, I pretended to be CJ with my other YT page. We already exposed that in part 2. We didn't need this message to prove that was you. We already exposed that you used your other YouTube page to fake like CJ in part 2, because you came to my page trying to fake like CJ, and that was the wrong page to go to, because you gave me the digital footprint to figure out who you were. But she says, but I think it's CJ with another fake page speaking on your wife in the private chat. That's not me. That's not okay at all. All right. So then I said, CJ a bitch. He won't say it to my face. See, at this point in time, I really had all the information that I needed. You've already exposed yourself for having a fake CJ page. I know it's you because I have your number saved in my phone. And hey, you guys out here, if you guys don't believe that's the right number, why don't you just try calling it? I mean, I don't care anymore. Try calling it and see who answers. All right. You guys also see the email. You guys also see the email that, so we know that I've been in communication with her. This is all legit. All right. So, and then at this point in time, after I said that last message, acting like Will, I really couldn't contain myself. My job as Labatt Lane right then, it had already been executed perfectly. I already got the information that I needed. You opened the door. You gave me a reason to continue the investigation as far as a third culprit. So because I was done with the investigation at that point in time, it was just time for me to make a little fun, to kind of make a little fun of the situation, to let you know that you fucked up. And I said, hey Anna, this is the LeBron Hater Help Hotline. If this is an emergency, go subscribe to FYF Sports Podcast immediately for help. How you think you were texting Will to an Arizona number, clown? That's what I said to her. Oh man, I was dying, y'all. When I saw this, I was dying. So I sent that at 9:59 a.m. and she responded back with a long diatribe. She responded back with a long diatribe. This is how you know she was mad, because she started using her therapist and her social worker words on me and everything. She went off on me, y'all. So at 10:05 a.m., October 28th, she said, I feel bad for you. Even to this day, I wonder if you acting out is coming from a place of sadness and turmoil, but there's no excuse for you. The evil and malignant maneuverings you perpetuate begins, or I'm assuming she meant to say behind the scenes. See a doctor and a therapist. I believe you have a personality disorder, and you're going to live a very sad, isolated, and lonely life if you don't get some help. That empty feeling that you live with every day, that confusion and lack of true identity is going to destroy you and everyone around you. Get help. So she got exposed, and then she's telling me to go get help. Okay, she just admitted to Will, or the fake Will, which is me right now. I'm being the fake Will, right? She admitted to me that she was the culprit for helping instigate CJ initially getting blocked the first time. All right. But so when she said all of this, it made me really do a deep investigation. I'm like, what do you mean you got CJ blocked? Because when the last time I remember CJ getting blocked was the last time when everybody found out. Like I knew there was an issue. I knew there was like a issue with early on, and Ticket confused it for CJ, and then Ticket blocked the fake when there was some type of awkward situation with all of that. All right. But she said I pretended to be CJ with my other YT page and got him blocked from Ticket's chat. Now the chat is separate from the StreamYard. So CJ could always go into the StreamYard. But when you're blocked in the chat, you can listen in to Ticket's videos, but when you type things in, your comments never show. That means you're black. Your comments don't even show. They're not even available to be deleted. They just don't show. All right. So you're like invisible. You're like an invisible watcher. You can't participate. So when you're blocked from Ticket TV, you're not necessarily blocked from watching a video, but you're blocked from participating in the live chat. And it may affect how you comment. All right. And it may affect the visibility of your comments. If you try to type one in, it may not even let you type one in. I don't block people, so it's hard for me to know exactly what happens after the fact. But she said, but that thought kept lingering in my mind. What she said, but I think it's CJ with another fake page speaking on your wife in the private chat. And so that's what made me continue this investigation. It's just like the likelihood that this could potentially be Anna faking or putting these nasty, vile messages in the private chat about Will's wife. It's a high probability, because she's shown the propensity to get vulgar like that with other people. I mean, she got vulgar like that with me, and she spoke on my dead mom and my dead father, and she did that behind the scenes. She did that behind the scenes. Extremely vulgar, and when I mentioned to her that my parents had passed, she didn't care. And when that happened, if that happened on my panel, that would be one of the few occasions where I would have to block somebody. You would not be welcome back. All right, because when you insult somebody to the, you can't insult the dead. You can't insult the dead, and if you do so on accident, again. If you do it publicly, then you need to apologize publicly. All right, and there was no instant remorse. When she was made aware that my parents had passed, by Antisocial and C Hill and everybody that was behind in the backstage after the chat had ended. She said, "Oh well." That's exactly what she said. She said, "Oh well." That's exactly what and that's verifiable. There were people there. That's verifiable. There are witnesses there who listen in there. So we know she has a propensity to be that vile. So it's not past her to think that I could have just ended the investigation thinking she's that type of person. She has that type of vulgar vileness in her to do something that nasty. So we can just end the investigation there and blame those nasty messages on Anna. But you know what? Something told me to continue to investigate, continue to see what's going on, really get to the truth, so you know for sure. At the end of the day, I needed a part 3. I needed to make a part 3 to finish the investigation. So it wouldn't hurt just to look into it. If I didn't find anything, I didn't find anything. That's fine. If I did, I did. And when I looked into it, I actually found something, and I was able to connect some dots. And I'm going to show you guys how I was able to connect the dots. And again, this is Labatt Lane on max level, putting in work, really doing the detective work to figure out what's next. So we're going to get to the drawing board. All right. And so what I'm also going to do is, because I got these screenshots of these messages. Some people like Will, like Anna, they're probably going to say, "Oh, those screenshots are fake." So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the video of me scrolling through the phone. I'm showing you the video of me scrolling through the phone so you know that these messages are real. All right. When I go into my messages. All right. So here's the video of me scrolling through these messages, just so you can see that the messages are real. That way I don't want anybody saying, "Oh, those messages are fake or doctored," or anything like that. No, these are the real messages, on top of the fact that, I mean, all you got to do is call the number. Like I said, I don't care about exposing the number. It's not my number. I don't need it anymore. Just call the number and see who answers. I'm sure you guys know who will answer the phone. All right. Don't text, just call. Don't text, just call. Sorry, Anna. Drop your number. Sorry. But we're going to get to the next segment of this, because the next segment of this is highly crucial. Remember, you guys got to pay attention. Make sure you get your tea ready. All right. Make sure you get your crumpets right here. I got a special crumpet that I'm going to try before we go to the next segment. Let me get to that right now, because, you know, this is a new crumpet right here. This is a new crumpet. Now, some of you 90s fans might know what this is already. All right. This is a crumpet that my mom used to eat. It's called a raisin cream pie. They don't make these anymore. It's a raisin cream pie by Little Debbie. But these are It's like one of the craziest Little Debbie cakes ever made, and they don't make them anymore. I call it a crumpet, with the raisins lightly breaded with the cream filling inside. Oh, and you wash it down with the English black tea. Oh man, I like that combination right there. Let's go ahead and get to the next segment of this so I can break down how we came to the conclusion that we did and who the third culprit actually is. Let's get to it right here. All right, so there we have it right here, man. This was a clip. You know, when I started my investigation, I had to scour through a lot of different videos, a lot of different live streams. And again, you guys gotta understand, the only thing that I'm going off of at this point in time is the comment that Anna said in the text message, that it wasn't me pretending to say things about your wife. And again, that in and of itself could be a lie. So I could be chasing a ghost right now. It could be Anna behind this all this time. I could be chasing a ghost again. This is Labatt Lane at work, covering all the bases possible, so that when we break down and get to the end of the video and we identify who the culprit is, we with 100% certainty are targeting the right people or persons involved. And so I came across this video on tickettv. Okay, this video was put out on October 22nd. You guys see the title right there. Live call-in show, should the Clippers trade Kawhi Leonard? All right, so at this point in time, At this point in time, CJ's real account had already been blocked in the chat. CJ's real account had already been blocked in the chat. All right. Oh, and actually, no. I'm gonna take that back. At this point in time, CJ wasn't blocked in the chat. He was allowed to still communicate in the chat, but we know he got blocked and banned from Ticket TV later down the line. Okay. So what happens is when you block somebody from the chat, their messages then become invisible. Okay. So if I were to block, let's say I block True to King. If I block True to King from my channel, which won't happen, but let's, for example, if I block True to King from my channel, then when you go back and look at the previous live streams, if True to King is talking to people in the messages, it'll look as if people are talking to him, but you won't see any responses from True to King because he'll be blocked from the channel, and that name will be removed from the chat. And so what you see right here is, and again, hopefully you guys can see it. If you can't see it, then maybe you might want to go to this video and then go to you want to go to this timestamp. I'm at the 2 hour 1 minute and 37 second marker on this video, and I'm looking at the live chat. Again, what they're speaking about in the video, that's irrelevant. What I'm looking for in the chat is when the fake CJ talks and when the real CJ talks, because now I have to find identifiers. And so one of the biggest things that I noticed is that this was one of the biggest things that I noticed. This was a conversation where the real CJ was actually in this conversation in the live chat, but because his real account has been blocked, his messages no longer show. So, and when I play this video, or actually I could just scroll down. As I scroll down these comments right here, what you'll see is a guy by the name of Aaron Burhane. He says, CJ, stop. All right. When you continue to scroll through these comments, you'll see a lot of people referencing CJ or talking to CJ. You have another guy says, why you mad? His channel name is Why You Mad. He said, CJ big mad, sniping the comments like with the angry face. All right. When you scroll down some more, 3,000 degrees says, CJ fam, I know you ain't tripping like that. Hitman X says, salute CJ. All right, so you see all these messages to CJ. 3,000 degrees says again, the other CJ has lowercase letters in his name, shaking my head. Tyrone Church says, CJ, that's not cool at all. Aaron Burhane says, it's the same CJ. So everybody, obviously CJ's coming to the chat. We know CJ's in the chat because Hitman X says, salute CJ. What we don't see are CJ's messages, okay? We don't see CJ's messages. So that means because you don't see CJ's messages in this particular chat right here, what that means is the CJ that was talking to everybody in this particular chat, the CJ that was talking about everybody in this particular chat has officially been blocked. And this was the real CJ in this particular chat. All right. So what I said then was, if the real CJ's messages are no longer showing in Ticket TV's live chats because Ticket TV has blocked him. All right. If his messages are no longer showing, well, then the fake CJ, who we know is still floating around out there, then the fake CJ's messages should still be in those chats. All right. Because again, there was an agenda. There's an agenda out there. The agenda by Anna, Will, and the third person involved is to get CJ blocked. All right, that was the goal. Because once CJ got blocked, mission accomplished. No more fake CJ accounts are trolling. All right. Once CJ got blocked, we've not seen a comment, no mentions, no appearances in the live stream. We haven't seen the fake CJ show his face at all. All right. When CJ officially got blocked. So it was like it was mission accomplished once CJ got blocked. So I said, okay, well, we know for a fact that Ticket did block CJ. CJ's real account is blocked from Ticket TV. Okay. So what I did was I said, let me look through some other videos. Let me see if I can find messages from the troll CJ. All right. And are there any connections or links that I can make? Because what I'm saying is, if the real CJ who's blocked, we know he's been blocked. If his messages are no longer showing in chats where we know CJ was in that conversation, then what I should be able to do is, if I can find messages with the fake CJ, then if I can find those messages, then I can do what I did with Will. I can use the source code to find a geotag and give me a geotag location for whoever's making these fake accounts. And what we exposed with Will was, we exposed the geotag location that narrowed it down to the exact address. And we know that's Will's address. All right. We know that's Will's address because how do we come up with a geotag location that mysteriously comes up with the address, and that address has direct ties to another William Byrd in the New Jersey area? The odds of that are happening, the odds of all of those things meshing together and coming together as one is astronomical. So what I'm saying is, for the most part, everybody on Ticket TV, we kind of know where people are from. We know James is from New Orleans. We know Antisocial's from New Orleans. We know I'm here in Arizona. We know CJ's in New Jersey. All right. We know CA3 Sports Talk. We know he's in Detroit. For the most part, we in having all of these conversations, we get a general idea of where people are. We know Anna is in Canada, in Toronto, Canada. So again, for the most part, we know the locale of most people. So knowing the locale, especially the geotag, which is highly accurate, that's going to narrow a lot of things down, because the geotag is not the IP address. The IP address can be masked and manipulated with a VPN. So trying to find the IP address is not always going to be the best way to go. On top of the fact that we don't really have the technology to find the IP address. So when Ticket TV is on his panel and he's backstage on the StreamYard and he's saying, "Oh, I got your IP address, sucker." Well, he's lying. He can't get your IP address. He doesn't have the capability or the tools or technology to get your IP address. All right. And on top of the fact that getting somebody's IP address is highly unstable because of firewalls, because of VPNs, because of people on cell phones where you don't have a standard MAC address, and those things have to be decoded. There are so many things that put a barrier between you having an accurate IP address. This is why I resort to the geotag. And I'll give you an example. Companies like FanDuel, we know FanDuel is restricted in certain states. So what FanDuel does is FanDuel doesn't monitor your IP address, because they know that, when FanDuel first came out, and we know that FanDuel's banned in certain states like Delaware. Well, what people were initially doing so they could continue to play FanDuel is they would just use a VPN to change their IP address. And FanDuel caught on and said, look, you can't gamble. You can't play FanDuel in these states because it's illegal. We have to find a more secure way to prohibit people from playing in these states that FanDuel is banned in. So what FanDuel started doing was they started monitoring the geotag. The geotag in any device, whether it's a laptop, whether it's a phone, is extremely difficult to change. And even if you change it, your geotag is stored in something called your cookies. All right. And your cookies are constantly being created on all of your devices. So unless you really know what you're doing, it's going to be extremely hard to mask or hide your geotag. And I don't believe we're dealing with people who even know what geotag is or even know how to go about masking it, because they never thought that this investigation would get to this particular point right here. Nobody assumed that I would take this investigation this far to really reveal who they were. All right. So I wanted to explain the geotag a little bit more. So when I do expose the geotag again, a lot of people are going to be in denial. But the facts are the facts. The geotag is the geotag, and the geotag will tell who you are, or at least give us a locale for where you are so we can kind of narrow things down. So again, we'll revert back to this particular chat right here. The real CJ, who people are having conversations with. As you guys saw, Hitman X even said, salute CJ. All right, Hitman X just came in the chat. He says salute CJ. So obviously when he says salute GJ, he's obviously seeing CJ communicate with other people in the chat. We no longer can see CJ's messages in this particular chat because the real CJ has been blocked. So what I did was I found another conversation where the fake CJ was in there, but the fake CJ's messages haven't been deleted. And the fake CJ's messages haven't been removed because the fake CJ's messages haven't been blocked. And this is what makes this evidence. And again, right now, we're just mounting the case. We're mounting the case because not only will, when we find the fake CJ, that's going to be damning evidence alone, but we can also use the same process, the same method that we used on Will, using the source code to locate the geotag to identify a location. And that location, again, when we're looking at prime suspects, we can start looking at prime suspects once we have the location, and we can start narrowing people down, knocking suspects off the list. Let me take you guys to another Ticket TV chat where the fake CJ is in the live chat spamming up those messages towards Will. And what we're going to do is, first we're going to evaluate that account, and then what we're also going to do is we're going to dive into the geotag. We're going to dive into the geotag to see if we can identify the culprit. Okay, so here we are right here. I have another video. Now this video was done on October 12th. Live call-in show, Ticket TV. Thoughts on LeBron James stat padding. Up 30 points in Game 6 of the NBA Finals. All right, so again, what they're talking about is irrelevant. I don't care about what they're talking about in the video. What I'm watching is I'm watching the live comments. And in the live comments right here at about the 2 hour, 48 minute and 48 second mark. And if you guys want to follow me, I'm going to give you time to go ahead and go to this video. Live call-in show on October 12th. Thoughts on LeBron James stat padding up 30 points in Game 6, and go to the 2 hour, 48 minute and 48 second mark. All right, if you go to that, then you'll see the live chat at that particular time. All right. And what you see in the live chat at that time is you see a conversation between William Byrd and the fake CJ. All right. And so the first thing that I see right here is I see William Byrd. William 84 Byrd. He says, CJ, you a troll. Stop lying. So he's having a conversation with the fake CJ. All right. We don't see CJ on the live panel right here. All right. Then what do we have right here? What do we have right here? All right. And if you guys are following me, you see the same message that I'm circling with my mouse. The fake CJ account. And here's something that surprised me. The fake CJ account has a wrench. The fake CJ account has a wrench. The only way you get a wrench, the only way you can get a wrench is if you're given a wrench by a moderator, or the moderator of the chat, which is Ticket TV. And with all of the things going on with the fake CJ accounts, the only way he should be issuing a wrench to CJ with all of the fake accounts that have been floating around in his name, the only way he should be issuing a wrench is if you have him come onto the live panel, speak, so we can know who he is, and then we give him a wrench. All right. But we know that this message, CJ's been blocked from Ticket TV. This message should be deleted. All right. If this is the real CJ, then why is this message still here? If this is the real CJ, why is this message still here? I just showed you guys another live chat where people were clearly talking to CJ. People were clearly talking to CJ, but all of CJ's messages were removed because CJ, the real CJ, is blocked. What we see right here is we see the fake CJ, and look what he's saying in this message. The fake CJ is saying, William Byrd, where is your wife? With two laughing faces. For one, that doesn't sound like CJ, right? I've been on Ticket TV for a long time, and I've been listening to CJ talk for a long time. CJ rarely ever gets into name calling. CJ rarely gets into those battles where he's going back and forth name calling. So this don't even sound like CJ. It doesn't even sound like CJ. But one of the oddest things, and I want you guys to also go through and fact check this. But whenever I see the fake CJ trolling in the chat, there's also something else that's also occurring as well. And I want you guys to, I'm gonna give you a few seconds to see if you can figure it out. But Labatt Lane caught it immediately. But every time I always see this fake CJ, every time I see this fake CJ account with the wrench, which the wrench can only be given by the owner of the channel or the owner of the StreamYard, which is Ticket TV. Every time I see comments like this, disparaging comments that are either extremely vulgar towards Will or Anna, stirring up drama in the chat, there's always some person missing from the live panel. I want you guys to see if you can figure out who that is. So in this particular situation, at the 2 hour, 48 minute, and 48 second mark, we see that the fake CJ is actively talking in the chat. But Ticket TV is missing from the live panel. Now, when I first saw this video, I said, just a coincidence. That just happens to be a coincidence. But then I started to do my research. Remember, for research purposes only. And when I did my research, what I came to find was that on every instance where the fake CJ's messages are still in the chats, because the fake CJ's account was never banned or blocked. The fake CJ account still has a wrench. All right. And again, like I showed you, and again, I will remind you again, if this was the real CJ and the real CJ has been banned and blocked, these messages would not be appearing. But these messages are still here. And this account still has a wrench. And every time these types of messages show themselves, Ticket TV is nowhere to be found in the chat. And again, this isn't a minor connection. But on every instance, and there were about 15 to 20 of them, and then you guys can go back and do your own homework. I just don't have time to go through all of them because there are just so many. But every instance where I saw the fake CJ's messages, Ticket TV was always going from the chat. Why is that? And what could you be doing every time the fake CJ is in here talking about Will's wife or making disparaging comments, vulgar comments about Anna, stirring up drama in the chat? Because these two people are highly emotional. Anything negative said about them can stir the chat up. Ticket TV is nowhere to be found. We're going to look at one more video because I want to show you guys another instance of this actually happening. Okay, so we have another instance of this happen. This is another video. This was a video on October 11th. October 11th, live call-in show. LeBron James is the best in the world, wins 4th ring. Okay. If you go to the 5 hour, 53 minute and 8 second mark, and again, you'll see this all throughout the chat. You'll see it all throughout the chat. But what I found more messages that haven't been removed from the fake CJ, because the fake CJ page has not been blocked from Ticket TV, and he still has his wrench. And he's saying, Omega, you ain't funny. So I'm assuming the fake CJ page at this point in time was stirring up drama in the chat, as the fake CJ page always did when Will and Anna were on the panel. But as you can see, Satchel Malone is on the big screen and Ticket TV is not in. He's not in the picture. He's not in the picture. And we can scroll down and we can look at the messages. If you allow the video to play and you just kind of let the live chat go on, or if you forward through, just forward through. And even if you forward through, you'll see more messages from the fake CJ. It seems as if he's in some type of beef with Anna right here. And here's another comment right here at the 6 hour, 26 minute and 12 second mark. CJ says, the fake CJ says, Anna, You look like a hermaphrodite. STFU. You know, hermaphrodite? CJ from Africa coming over here saying the word hermaphrodite? CJ, you guys know that CJ has trouble speaking English, right? Do we really believe that he's going to be in the live chat using a word like hermaphrodite? When CJ still struggles with common English words? All right, Iron Bite Tyson has it figured out. Iron Bite Tyson is saying right here, fake CJ, chill out. Rick Bad Boy, he's saying that can't be CJ. Because a lot of people are saying stuff like this in the chat. A lot of people are saying stuff like this in the chat because CJ's never been known to talk like this. Because if you look right here, there's another disparaging comment saying STFU. That's why your wife gone. Again, these are intentional comments placed in the chat to stir up people like Will and Anna because it stirs up drama and it's like a shit starting comment. All right, it's a shit starter comment. All right, and that's what I want to focus on right there. There's another comment by CJ. CJ says, "Bum ass Anna won't say ish to my face." Ish. I don't even know if CJ talks like that. Iron Bite Tyson is saying again, that's the fake CJ. He's figured it out. Here's another comment by CJ. Anna, STFU, you a tranny. Just again, the way you talk is the way you speak. Just like when we exposed Will in the first video, in my comments he kept putting bitch ass N-word. But we know when you listen to him speak on Ticket TV, when I played those clips for you guys, Will says bitch ass N-word multiple times. If he's probably said it over 500 times on Ticket TV. We know that's part of the language he uses. And the language that you always use is how you type as well. All right. So, and we see that a lot of people are in this conversation. CJ keep timing out Slim Thug. I've never known CJ to time people out one. So that has to be the fake CJ. One thing we do know is we know Ticket TV. He's been known to time people out a lot. But this fake CJ has the wrench. So this fake CJ has the power of a moderator. Why would if you were behind this, why would you give CJ the power of a moderator while you're not in the chat? I would say you would give CJ the power of a moderator while you're not in the chat so that you can still do stuff like time people out and block them. All right. So again, once again, I'm showing you guys another scenario where Ticket TV is mysteriously gone and this fake CJ is added again in the chat. And it's just so funny. I want you to go back and watch it. This fake CJ never shows his face and starts to really go crazy in the chat when Ticket TV is there. But when Ticket TV dips out, the fake CJ always shows his face and he's going crazy in the chat, stirring up drama with Anna and Will. Anna and Will are even more confused because they both know that they've both also created fake CJ accounts. Right? They haven't used them as maliciously though. Anna just used it to cause confusion and to try to convince Ticket to block CJ, which was successful. Will simply used it to spam and troll comments on my page. All right. So they both been caught. But this fake CJ account that still exists here with moderator power, it still exists and it's never been blocked. Now, Ticket could have easily went through his chats. He could have easily saw this account and said, you know what? I'm going to eradicate the fake and real CJ from all of these videos. I'm going to purge it. He didn't do that. He only blocked the real CJ. And these fake CJs still exist. But you know what? I'm glad the fake CJ page still exists. Because the power of the geotag still exists as well. You know what? And so again, just like the same process that we did to identify the source code of this. And again, this is going to be a little bit more difficult to identify because whenever you're dealing with a live chat, you're not dealing with just one person or multiple people. What you have to do is we have to find CJ within the source code. All right, because there are multiple accounts listed within the source code. All right, and then we have to just find the coordinates and see where the coordinates take us. All right, so what we're gonna do is, and I'm gonna fast forward past this. And again, you guys know how to. You guys can go back to the first video, look at the instructions on how I've done this. You can follow these same instructions yourself, right, to find the geotag of this fake CJ. So so whoever the fake CJ is right here, what they should have done is they should have banned or blocked the fake CJ, especially after watching part 1 and part 2, knowing that we have the ability to find your digital footprint, find your location, and narrow down who you are. Because if this digital footprint leads to Canada, it's a high probability that it's Anna. If it leads back to New Jersey, it's a high probability that it probably will. If it leads to any of these other states, and again, most of us know what states are located. If it leads to New Orleans, then we can look to Antisocial or James. So what we need to do is we need to find a digital footprint to where this CJ is, because this CJ mysteriously always shows his face whenever tickettv leaves the chat. So again, now I have a suspect. The exculpatory evidence is pointing towards you, tickettv. Let's go into this. Let's go into this geotag and see where it takes us. All right. So again, this was a bit more difficult. The source code, having to find it because you have to sort through so many names in the live chat right here. And again, I implore you guys to take the same steps that I did to identify the geotag. Those steps can be found in part 1 of this epic mini series. And I think the geotag is going to take us a direction that we may need to further investigate. All right, if you cannot see this geotag right here, I'll go ahead and zoom in on it for you. And it's right there. Now, you know what? Labatt Lane never jumps to conclusions. Labatt Lane is never one to point the finger without damning evidence. That being said, tickettv, your time has come. tickettv, your time has come. The evidence is leading us to you. And that's an unfortunate turn of events right there. That's unfortunate right there that we have 3 grown adults, 2 of which have been found guilty of creating accounts, fake accounts of a 19-year-old kid, all for the purpose of blocking him and disrespecting him. And now we have a 3rd suspect in this tangled web. And we'll be back with part 4 to discuss that. FYF Sports. We out.